Hi, Katherine. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well. I know it's been a crazy week, but we're here and we're doing it.
You know, I lost the elections. It is so sad. I don't want to talk about politics. Let's proceed with the questions from the fans. The first one is, what career would you choose if you were not in the industry?
So actually, before I was an actor, I wanted to be an economist. I'm a huge math nerd, and so as a kid, my greatest love was economics, and all I wanted to do was go into developmental economics and kind of help the world that way. And it's such a specific, nuanced field, and it fascinated me.
Oh my God, this country needs more people like you. Next question, who's your inspiration behind your musical talent? And will we ever see an album from you in the future?
Well, funny you should ask. I actually have been working really hard over the last month or two to get some things together. I found all these old songs on my computer, and I said, you know what? What other than 2020 of an opportunity are we going to have to kind of go back in the archives and just say, these aren't doing any good collecting dust on my computer. Let's get them out in the world. Maybe they'll do somebody some good. So that should be coming within the next month or so.
That is a surprise. Any tease about how it would be?
You know, it's funny because a lot of my music, some of it I've written, some of it are music that friends of mine have written, and I just kind of connected with the subject matter. But it's all, it spans a range. It's pop music for sure, but the music I write is more in like the Halsey Banks vibe. But everything else, it kind of runs the gamut, which is fun because I grew up doing theater, so I'm more used to being like, here, sing this, and kind of fitting into whatever puzzle I need to.
And would you do holiday songs?
Oh, I would love that. Actually, that would be really fun. I actually got to do a little bit of that last year. Do you remember that movie Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron from back in the day? Cartoon now that it's on Netflix that is like the new generation of kids that are playing with Spirit. And they had a holiday special last year, and I got to play a role and sing a few Christmas songs, and it was so fun.
I would love to hear your music. Do you miss Shadowhunters? Do you used to talk to your castmates?
I miss Shadowhunters every day. You know, that show, it means so much to me, the cast and the crew and the story and everything. It was so instrumental in kind of shaping who I am as an adult, as well as it really created this community out in the world for a lot of kids who really felt lost and who really found themselves and found their community through the show. And that is so heartwarming to me. But yes, I still talk to the cast. I talk to them almost on a daily basis, if not multiple times a day. So we've got a few actually things brewing with a couple of them, but we'll see.
Nice. Do you ever watch older episodes?
Yeah, at the beginning of quarantine, there were a couple fan sites that were doing like watch backs and watch along and re-live tweeting certain episodes. And I jumped into a few of them, and it was so fun to relive those memories. You know, you kind of forget the things that happened behind the scenes until you watch it again, and you go, oh my God, I totally forgot this happened this day, or this person was doing this, or we were, you know, somebody was off camera goofing around with something or another. And it was absolutely hysterical. But, you know, it's a walk down memory lane.
Is it wired for you to watch yourself?
Oh yeah, no, I have way more fun watching everybody else. I have to watch through my fingers sometimes. I've had to come to terms with just dealing with being uncomfortable.
I also hate to see myself losing elections. You are in the kitchen. So what is something that Mia and Clary would bake?
Ooh, that is an interesting question. What would Mia and Clary bake? I think they would definitely bake something that was kind of hearty and warm, and maybe like a bourbon molasses cookie or some kind of, because Mia loves her scotch. She's just like her father. She loves it. And Claire, they both have that sort of warm, feisty quality to them. So something spicy, it's something bourbony, and something that, you know, they could share with the rest of the gang.
Nice, good choices. Will you be in any conventions next year?
If conventions happen, I will be there. I love conventions. I miss them so much. It gives me an opportunity to travel, and also I love hearing everyone's stories and getting to actually connect with people. And you know, I stalk you guys on Twitter sometimes, and I look at all your fan art and all the lovely things that you say, but it means so much more to get to connect with people in person and kind of form those bonds on a in-person level. I miss that.
Do you like to play the good girl or the villain more?
It's fun funny. I love that I've had the opportunity to do both, honestly, because that's, as an actor, what I crave most is kind of diversity and getting to be that chameleon and getting to kind of put every hat on that I possibly can. And having played heroes like Clary and Mia for so many years, it was a wonderfully odd departure to get to go play Julie in The Stand, who is arguably the worst human you could possibly. So it's nice because you get to kind of use a different set of muscles and figure it out. I mean, playing a villain is always sometimes more fun because, you know, you have the most delicious dialogue usually and the best shoes and all those fun things. But it's fun to be the good guy too.
Or what Disney villain would you want to play in a live-action remake?
You know, I would love to say like Maleficent or something like Ursula from Little Mermaid. But I think if I were to do it many years in the future, I've always loved Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. I think she's such a lovable, odd, evil weirdo, and I think she'd be so fun to play.
I know you like horror movies. Give me some horror movies you would recommend.
I'll give you a couple, because I have a very long list. I would say Carrie. I would say Oculus is one that I absolutely love. It Follows is a great one. Us, I fell in love with last year. I mean, there's a whole long list, but I have to tell you, have you seen Oculus?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's this horror movie about this old mirror that has a spirit living in it, right? Okay. And so I don't have any old mirrors in my house, and I'm so thankful after I watched the movie the first time because I was so freaked out. But I have this giant IKEA mirror that used to sit on my landing on my stairs, and it was a couple hours after I watched the movie, and I was doing stuff in my house, and all of a sudden the mirror, I kid you not, literally jumps off of my wall for no reason. And I'm like, gosh darn it, this is really freaking out.
Are you excited about the new Scream and Halloween coming next year?
I'm so excited. That's something I've been doing a lot of this year, is going back and revisiting a lot of my favorite movies and a lot of movies that I haven't seen. And I think it's always fun when people find a new take on a story that's already been told. Because why not? It's 2020. We gotta see what we can do.
Tell me about your favorite holiday and why.
I would have to say Thanksgiving, personally. Just because I love the fact that, with the other winter holidays, things can get, bogged up in other aspects. And I just love the fact that it's a holiday that's all about sitting down with the people that you love, eating some really good food, and just appreciating life.
Here I have another question. How do you stay so positive when things get so difficult?
I'm really glad that somebody asked that question. I'm not positive every day. And, you don't suddenly spring out of bed every morning with a giant smile on your face. A lot of days I do, because that's kind of how I choose to live my life. But even on the tough days, you just have to accept that not every day is perfect. And you can choose how you experience that day. You can choose to find the silver lining and make it a good day and do everything in your power to try and, at least laugh about any misfortune that's happening to you. Or you can sit and wallow in it and have a really bad day and just keep perpetuating the negativity. And to me, life is too short to live in that negative space. If you can, yes, there are things in life you have to experience and feel and work through. But the point is you're working through it. You're not sitting in it.
A couple more questions. What is the first place you want to travel to after the pandemic?
I want to go back to London, because I have so many friends there, and there's so much I want to explore. I've never been to Scotland. I would love to go explore because it's such a beautiful country. I want to go back to Ireland and kind of explore that, and explore more of England itself. And then from there, I probably won't come home for a while, and maybe I'll hop to an island or go to, I was in Portugal for about 3 days a couple years ago for Comic-Con, and I'm dying to go back. It's such a beautiful country, and once you're over in Europe, it's so hard to not explore.
I want to go to Bali. That would be fun. It's a beautiful place.
I know. I was talking to a friend the other day about going to Bali, and I I've gotten so into, I followed so many travel Instagrams this year of just gorgeous places that I want to visit. I live vicariously through other people's pretty pictures.
The food, the people, nice women's, nice parties.
That's what I hear. My mom was a foreign exchange student there when she was in high school. So I grew up seeing the things she brought back and hearing all of her stories and looking at her photos. And it's always been my dream destination.
Tell me about your next project.
There's a few things. I mean, I have some things in the works, and I have a lot of projects that I have been meant to shoot for a year now, which have all been put on hold for COVID. But so a few of those are dream projects for me. I also have been developing a lot of things to direct and developing a lot of things to be working on the behind the camera side as well as in front of the camera, which is actually really lovely. You know, I've been really lucky to work with a lot of amazing crews and a lot of amazing directors that have taught me so much. And I'm just dying to have a seat at the table and to have a little bit of creative influence as well, and try my hand at some other aspects of production.
I think you were like a sponge and you absorb all around you.
100%. And actually that's something that Shadowhunters really taught me. I can't tell you the number of times that our props department made us this round table that was on wheels because we would all sit on set. Nobody would go back to their trailers. And so we'd all just like sit around this table, and you know, people come up to you on set and show you a prop for the next episode, or they have a question about a costume or something like that. And then inevitably you end up with the whole cast that's working that day, plus a director, probably a writer, somebody from props, somebody from wardrobe, and like the stunt coordinator, all discussing every department and kind of what is happening on the set. And then somebody from, you know, the set design department will walk by with drawings and everybody runs over because we all want to see. And nobody had any ego, and everyone just gave their honest opinion to sort of build the world together. And that made it such a more cohesive experience because you have everybody offering their resources to help elevate everyone else's work.
Is there a potential Shadowhunters movie would you direct it?
I don't think I would direct a Shadowhunters project, just because when I'm doing Clary, it's such an all-encompassing, and I'm usually really, really busy between running around learning fights and trying to, you know, be in every other scene and all of these other things. I would solely want to focus on that. But that being said, a Shadowhunters reunion I am so in for. I mean, if Clary exists, I know they're developing an Infernal Devices thing, and they're talking about a lot of other worlds of Shadowhunters, and if Clary has a place or one of her ancestors, I volunteer as tribute. I'm dying to get my ginger hair back and, you know, grab those Kindles again.
Would you be with a grown man like me?
Yeah, I've never made this before. I have no idea if it's going to work. It might be terrible, but we're going to find out.
I love this interview.
You too. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. Bye!